all systems nominal.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com, and today we have the new Kromlech Behemoth Dreadwalker. Really neat kit they sent over to us to take a look at. So we're going to unbox and build this. It is set up to be magnetized, but I'm not sure if we're going to have time to get everything all magnetized, although we will show you how to do it and what size magnets to use and everything like that, at least in the English standard system. Unfortunately, metric is far too complicated for us Americans, and you're going to have to extrapolate some. I apologize in advance, but let's take a look at this on their site real quick before we unbox it, because I'm basically stalling to pull it out of the box and open it up and show you all the parts. So here's Kromlech's store website. It's not kromlech.com, it's bitsofwar.com or kromlech.eu. There is a way to get to this from that. If you get there, just click on the store link, but if you're looking to buy stuff, this is where you want to go. And then of course they always have the latest and greatest new releases on here. We've showed you the Imperial Crusaders. We haven't got any of the Orc stuff. They haven't sent that to us yet, and that's looking pretty neat. They're just dropping the mic well before October, because why not, right? So all this stuff is out and orderable. We haven't got it in here yet. Here's the Behemoth Dreadwalker, and remember, there's always this little switch right here, so you can, where is it, up here, so you can switch currencies if you really want. Oh, and I guess since I got you here, don't forget that, well, you can't see it, but shipping is free on orders over $150. So if you're interested in getting two of these, which, you know, it's $92, it is a little bit more than the Games Workshop kit. Again, a lot of the stuff on here, there are ways to save money by picking it up and using existing plastic bits for games like Warhammer or, you know, Age of Sigmar even. But in a lot of cases, you're going to be picking this up because you want your stuff to look a certain way, and it is going to cost, you know, it's boutique resin miniatures. They cost a bit more. It's like buying Forge World. The stuff costs a little bit more. Hopefully it's a little bit more quality, right, from Forge World. A lot of times it's not lately, but this stuff is always comes, you know, great from Kromlech and stuff. I've never had any problems with any Kromlech stuff I've ever gotten for 10, 12 years from them. It's always been great. I've heard one story. Kenny will tell you a story about his big Plague Lord guy, but they sent him a whole new one. So that's a story for another day, unfortunately. But this guy, so he's $92, which I said is a little bit more than the, you know, the Primaris style Dreadnought from Games Workshop. But perhaps if you're picking this up, you want it to, you know, because you want your army to look a certain way. And at the end of the day, or maybe you got some extra, you know, little loyalty points here that they give you with every order. I think you would get, I don't know, I want to say like $10 or $12 worth here. Oh, no, if you buy this, you get, there you go. So you can see it, it's all right here. I was doing quick math, and it was pretty close. Sometimes the quick math is the best math. But you can kind of see all the bits it comes with, and I'll show you these here in a second. I really like the graphics are pretty neat on this one. So it's just a cool look. Oh, and then you can see the profile, but fortunately we have one here in the studio too. Comparison there. And some of the weapons. Obviously going to look better than what I'm going to show you today, and of course the canopy, armored canopy comes out, and that is, I think, about it. Oh, there's all the bits right there too. And what I really noticed about this that I thought was pretty neat was there's these rubberized bits right here, and unfortunately, you know, I thought they would be kind of hard to work with, but they weren't at all. It was all very easy. You didn't have to use any special glue, just normal super glue, and that worked out really well. So let's take a look at the actual bits themselves and then get this thing built and talk about some magnets. If you've never bought a box set from them, this is basically how it comes. You know, packed really well in, nice baggy. Everything's in here pretty good. If anything needs to be bubble wrapped, generally they do bubble wrap, and then they put the packing peanuts and such in here too. And then all the pieces are numbered. You can get the instructions, I think, on the site, although I haven't checked yet, but I'm gonna go run and do that real quick while I unbox this. So I wasn't able to find the instructions on their website, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a bummer. I don't think we're going to need them for this one, but I could definitely see where some folks would maybe be not as familiar with the design and things and how, you know, kits go together in general. and definitely need them. So I'll follow up about that and see what I can find out, unfortunately, but don't quite know too much about that right now. And this is really the only one that's ever come up with, now that I think about it. So I suppose going forward, we'll definitely bring that up and kind of see what the thoughts are there, because I really don't have a good answer for you. But anyways, this is all the stuff laid out. And you can see that it's very nice crisp resin, just like it always is generally from them. There's some really interesting key features here. Like, first, you can switch out the head on this, so you're not kind of stuck in with this one they give you right here, if you don't want it. And there's a lot of recesses here that you're going to notice, and those are for magnets. And I think for the most part, these are looking like 1/16 by 1/32 magnets on the little stuff here, and it looks like this is, yeah, these are countersunk, so probably the underslung weapons of some kind. Oh, these probably go there, so they'll be able to lock in and also be magnetized. Oh, they're pretty snug too, so that's nice. So those will definitely work. The 1/16 by 1/32, yep, those definitely work for pretty well. Well, but now it's stuck in there. That's where it lives now. Okay, well, that's good to know. So there's that, and then the canopy one right here. You could definitely use the same size magnet right there. There's options for the arms here as well. Where are those? Before we get them built. So I just saw them. Oh, here they are. Didn't have from off camera. There's a random piece. So these are going to be probably a different size that you want to use right here. These are probably going to be more of a 1/4 inch diameter by 1/8, it looks like, to lock those in there, and keep all that locked in there if you want to swap off the arms. But I didn't see where they were selling different arm bits, so maybe in the future they will sell different arm bits, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and magnetize yours, just so you can get the extra weapon packs when they might potentially come out in the near future. Hard to say. I don't know if I have any plans. And then I also noticed that on the arms, there's the same smaller magnet holes right there for the wrist. I think they're wrist mounted. Pretty sure they're wrist mounted weapons on one of these, but we'll get it together here in a minute. Just going by memory now of what all this stuff looks like. And the thing I was worried about was I didn't notice that there was magnets here on the main weapons, and I didn't notice where they said that they could be magnetized. But what I think I would do, but I don't have the time to do it today, unfortunately. We're playing a little bit of makeup with we've had some staff out, some injuries here as well, so it's a little hard to do a lot of things I normally could do around the office here currently. So I think if I was going to do this, it would totally be doable. I would take some 3/16 inch magnets. Oh wait, is this 1/4 inch? No, this is 3/16. So what I do is I take 3/16 inch magnets here. I drill through that circle right there, and it would totally fit. And then the cool thing about this is it's the right width too, so you'd have two chunky magnets in here to lock into this recessed area here, where I would take those small and I don't have them here, but the small magnet or metal strips rather, as long as they're ferrous, make sure they're ferrous. And we showed you in the past where to get that stuff from. You can get the tin plates off of Amazon, or you can get them, use HVAC tin for ductwork. You can use any of that and just cut them out. It's a little bit hard to cut. You're going to want to get some nice shears to cut all that out. And I think, what is it? Friskers has some really good shears that I use. Actually, I think I have them right here. These are one of the pairs of shears I use. They're, for... I think they're used for sewing and stuff. Yeah, Friskers, but they're super durable and very strong, and they'll cut through little strips of tin very easily. And once you have that curved out, because you're not going to want to put a magnet in here, but once you kind of figure out that shape, which you can probably use this and trace this on a little piece of metal, and then cut around it, glue them in here. Have your magnets in here already, and it'll be snug too, because you're going to have two pieces of thin metal in there as well. So you might have to do a little bit of sanding, but I think in the long run, if you want to magnetize these weapons, that would be the way to do it. And it's very easy to do, and you won't have to mess up any polarities or anything like that. And these are already pre-drilled, so they'd be pretty easy to just lock into magnets, and they fit very easily, and just match up your polarities between the two of them. So that would be my ideas on magnetizing this kit. Unfortunately, we're not going to have time to do it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like just built on the fly right now. Here's what this big guy looks like with a little striding pose here, which I think it's pretty neat. That head glued in there looks just fine. This rockets you can kind of you can glue down like flipped up or flipped down, and then like I said, you could magnetize the arms to just completely come off. These can be magnetized. These can be magnetized. This, as I showed you, could definitely be magnetized. A little spot of work for sure, but everything else is pretty cool, and obviously it's very posable. These like rubberized bits, and they are literally very rubberized bits. Very, very cool stuff. I hadn't seen anything like this before. Very impressed by these. Very easy to use. I didn't I really didn't have to do too much. This one had to repair. There was a little bit of cat damage. Had to go ahead and repair that, and didn't do a very good job of it, unfortunately, because well, I got it all over my hands, and things happen sometimes. So learned a little bit about working with it after it had already glued together. It turns out just don't let your cats attack your models, and you'll be fine. But that did look a lot better. Until I got a hold of it and fixing it from the cat. But I can go in there and kind of chip off some of this this excess glue, but getting it to stick was a little bit of a chore, unfortunately. But that's on me. That's not a reflection of the material or the product for sure. But other than that, it's a very, very cool thing here. And there's you don't really need to magnetize this per se. It kind of locks in, and with a little bit of paint, I think it would just kind of stay on there, but you could if you really wanted to. Everything else would definitely have to be magnetized if you want. And then, comparison wise, this is about how it compares to a Redemptor. Keep in mind, this guy's naked. He doesn't have his armor on. We use this for, when folks send us some of the armor plates and things, and we get to play around with those a bit. And then here's how it compares to a Primaris Space Marine, so just to give you an idea of all that. So the scale's right, everything looks good, and I think it's just a really neat kit in general that definitely will give your army a very different look. Some of the other stuff they sent over too, before we get out of here, was they got these new base toppers. Now, I don't really use these a lot in a lot of cases, but if you have an excess of any, the bevel bases already yourself, it seems like a good buy, because you don't have to buy any more stuff. You just get this, and you don't have to replace your bases. What's nice about these is they're really cool, and they did these neat designs that I didn't even realize until I started looking at it. Like, here's an oval, right? It's got some we'll call it Xenos engravings on there, and then there's two different bits, so it goes up and there's a little bit more depth to it. And the same with these, like there's some cut holes in there with like the carbon fiber kind of digital sort of I don't know, Blackstone Fortressy kind of look, dark technology sort of thing. There's a bunch of different styles, and you can check them out all on their website. They're about $13 or so, which, like I said, if you got a bunch of these bevel bases already, I don't think it's a bad value at all if you're just looking to do something different. And then they give you some extra little pieces there to kind of glue on top to create some depth. And you can hear there is some depth and there is some detail here, so you'll be able to paint this very well. It's not just like very lightly etched into this. There is depth and there is detail to it that you are going to be able to get on and paint. And this probably is a little bit of a misnomer to show you on a 25 mil, because there's kind of a little bit bigger of a lip, but if it was on a bigger size base, there wouldn't be that big of a lip. But I don't think it's that off-putting if you're just putting, like, I don't know, just some normal human duders on here. I don't think it's an issue at all. And it's a nice, affordable little solution to, kind of customizing out the normal bases you might have. And you get enough of them on here that, you can pick and choose a couple there if you got a full 10-man squad or something. And, just save the rest or something like that. So that is about it for this one, y'all. Thank you for hanging in there with me and listening once again to my rambling. It's just a really neat kit. Check it out, bitsofwar.com. But before you go there, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos. If you liked that video feature, consider supporting us over at patreon.com and get back in the mail each month a miniature crate full of some of the stuff we review here, as well as some of the top 3D artist designs out there too, to help support what they're doing. plus discount coupon codes from some of those same manufacturers. They're yours to keep, whether you cancel or stay on. It's totally up to you. Obviously, we want to keep you as happy as possible. So check it out over at patreon.com/spikybits.